Hi, my name is Candace Waller, and I am the author of the new release, Good Things Come. And I'm here with J.D. Stones, who's written so many books. And he's got a new book coming out, how he sold $322,650 worth of books on Amazon. I want to know how he did it. And I know that I'm not the only one who wants to know how he did it. So I decided to ask him to come on and give us some tips. He has a Facebook group, and he's very encouraging and supportive of writers. I really love going on his page. He's always supporting my blog and helping me and encouraging me. And I just, as someone that's starting out,
yeah,
and I'm not the only one, there's so many books published every year, but they don't sell. So we want to know, what are some, I would like you to give us your background a little bit. Now, you didn't just start selling this amount of books. So
no.
What did you do in the beginning, and why did you change, and how did you know to change?
So I have been, my career was a graphic designer. So that's what I was. I was a graphic designer. And for 30 years, I'm retired from, I have my own business. I've now retired from that about 4 years. And about 10, 11 years ago, I started creating books. So books were always something, it's actually, I'm going to step back to when I was about 5 years old. And books were one of the things that was on my list of goals for my life. I sort of set my thing was to write books, make products, and have my own business at about 5 years old. And so I always wanted to do it, but I'm dyslexic, which a lot of graphic designers are.
I didn't know that.
So writing is just a huge struggle. And I was that kid, there's the kid in the class that makes models. Now they have services for people with dyslexia, but I was I was the kid who made models and did all those things, and teachers took pity on me. And so I just struggled through most of my adult life trying to write, but I always wanted to write. And I'm going to just turn around and grab a book. So I just wanted to show you, this was my very, very first book that I did. This is actually in 1979.
Wow.
It was a children's book. I met this guy right here, Frank Fissler, and so I did do a book way back in the 1979, but it was we did it the old school way, and but most of my adult life I just wouldn't write, but I just kept pushing on it, and in my 50s I just sort of really pushed and did a lot of blogging, a lot of energy just to kind of get it, and I took a course by this guy. He's an internet marketer, Jeff Walker, and he gave assignments in this course. It's a course on making products and doing things. And he gave assignments in little tiny bits. And so I started doing, it was really building a business plan, but he gave you one question, fill out the question, another question, fill out the question. By the time I got done with that, for some reason, I could suddenly write. Some barrier had broken and gone off, and I could now, and words just started pouring out of the bottoms of my fingertips. And so I just started writing, but because I had all the graphic design skills, I just started creating. So I wrote, my first real book was this book, which is a book of, again, it's pictures. It's chords and things for guitar. And
that book.
Yeah. And this book, this is a good example. This was a book that I recorded as I learned to play guitar, mandolin, and ukulele. I recorded down what I learned. And then this book took about 8 years to make. And I eventually put them all into a book like this. And this sells on Amazon. And so this was the really first one. But then about 10 years ago, I started to really pick up the pace on it. And one of the things that I learned is that not all books it's very hard to get them to sell. But you get to learn what books sell, and sometimes a part of one book will become another book that you can use and repurpose your content. So one of the things I teach all the time is repurposing your content. So if you see parts of a book or something that people are interested in one of your books that may be of more interest than the actual book, you can create that book, because we can publish whatever we want. So in the back of this book, I needed to fill out the book. I put some pages of blank sheet music. And I turned that into a book of blank sheet music.
Wow.
This is one of my best-selling books. So this book sells about 1,000 copies a year. So this book probably sells several hundred copies a year. This one sells 1,000 copies a year. So I just kept taking parts of it and experimented and put out another book and to see what happens.
So how did you know to do that? Like, because you're saying that how do people, a lot of people are not looking at metrics. Like I have Google Analytics running and I do a lot of metric stuff, but that's not, so how do you know what at popular, or, you know, it seems like it works more for nonfiction. I don't know about fiction, if it works for fiction at the same time.
I also spend a lot of time looking at my metrics. Metrics for me are really important. I use Google Analytics. I use the blog things. So one of the things that I teach people to do is to, and which is the main thrust of this book, this new book that I'm putting together, is to take your content, break it up into small pieces, post it, and then wrap ads around. In fact, I'll find the page because it's easier than going to screen share. I wrap ads around your content. So you use your content to, in fact, here's a good example of it. I can show it up. So here's a web page I have. So I take chord sheets from the book. This is my music one. I post it on a website. I describe it. Google sends people to the page, and I place ads on the website around the edges. So you're using the power of Google and your content to bring traffic to your pages. So you're doing
to get back to that again, because you're talking about placing ads for your own books on your pages, which is something that I don't think I've known before. Like I have a book on my homepage, like you'll see the book covers there, but you can actually place like a nice little ad or have it designed, and then because I have a WordPress site, so you know
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. In fact, why don't I do this? I'm going to just go to, because this is one of my big concepts. So I'm going to just go to screen share here, and we're going to share. Let's just go to screen share. Tell me if you can see this.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a site called Essential Chords. Acoustic Music TV is my site. So I have a bunch of sites. This is one of them. And what I did is I took every page from the music book. So here's a page in the music book. And I made a graphic out of it, and I put it on a page. So see this right here. So this graphic has a really good name. You know, I put the right name on it. I put descriptive copy down here. On the graphic, I also put a little thumbnail of the cover, and I say where you can get it. And then around the edges of this site, and you can do this on a blog or a website, it's, you know, everywhere, here are ads from my books. So Google will send people here, and you'll go, oh, I like this. This is great. Oh, I see he's got this one, and he's got this one. I like this book. You come over and you click on this, and it goes to Amazon, and you can buy it. So it's a pretty simple way to do it. I do this on blogs. I do this on websites. Here's my other book. So, he's got another book. So you check this out. What I also do is I will then put up a, let's let this, there we go. I'll have a little catalog page. So these are all my music books. Here they are. And I also will set up a page on my site with the book. So here's the book. And if you want to, you just click this link and you can go to Amazon. So what I'm doing is I'm using, now let me show you why this is so powerful. Let's go to Google. And I'm going to search on 2-finger mandolin chords. And I'm going to go to images. So if you see, so this is standard, everybody goes here. So if you look at this page, this has been up for a long time. If you look at this, this is one of my graphics. This is one of my graphics. This is a graphic. This is a graphic. Because I put all the images and stuff out there, it gets picked up on Amazon. There's my finger, there are my fingers. So if I click in Google Images, let's say I just click on this. Let's just click on this. So that's my chart, there's my hand. And this one's on Pinterest. So if I click on this, it goes to Pinterest. and I should be able to get, I can either find out about it. This is a poster, so let's go to a book. Let's go to a book. Let's go to this one. Oh, that's on Pinterest. They're all on Pinterest. Here's one on acoustic music TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go to here, I can click on this graphic, and there's the book. And people can click on this, and they can go to Amazon. So I'm using, or you can go to the website. I either send people to Amazon or I send people to my own website. But I'm using the copy and the text and pictures from my books. I spread them all over the place. I put them on Pinterest. I put them on websites. I put them on blogs. They're also on Twitter and Facebook. But I like platforms that are permanent, that are out there for a long time. So, Twitter and Facebook, things move quickly and they kind of disappear.
Mm-hmm.
But this website has been up since, I don't know, what's the date on it? I can't remember what the date on it is. 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of cranks along, and it's like having a lot of ads on Google. These are all ads for my books. Not all of these are other people's too, but a lot of my stuff is in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's one of the main ways. Now you can do this with books that are, let's go to here. You can do it with books.
What about fiction?
I think, so what my idea about fiction is, one, you can put let's kind of leave this. You can put the text up in small chunks so you can tell the story, or some people write their books on their blogs, but you can also just post the book, take the book and just start posting chunks of it. So you're telling the story. So it's a story, but you can also build a world around your book. So let's say your fiction book is about 18th century England. It's a story in 18th century England. So why not? There's a lot of people who like 18th century English books about 18th century. So build a world around that. So go and find. So let's go. I'm going to go back and show you this. Let's go back and do this again. So build a world. So if I'm going to go onto Google, let's go to Google. So let's just build a world around 18th century. 18th century England.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have all kinds of things on the 18th century England. So you can now put information, you can put history. Here's something about early Britain. You can do, let's just kind of scroll down here. Let's just do plants of 18th century England.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, hardy plants from late Georgian period. So I can bring information that's about the story around my book, around the world you created, and build a website around that topic. So anybody who's interested in, so I could have places to go where you can go see, here are castles and here are things. I can learn about plants. I can learn about the food. I could learn who are the main people, all that kind of stuff. So here are, let's see, key people of 18th century England. So here we go. Alexander Hamilton, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, blah, you can go and find that, and then you can put up pages and information and bios and products and things around that topic.
I think that's interesting because I write Christian fiction, so you can do a lot of things about like churches, Bibles.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So let's take that concept, okay? Mm-hmm. So now what you can do, because you've talked about Google Analytics, I love Google Analytics, we can now go to look at our posts. Once we start posting a bunch of stuff, and my recommendation is usually post a variety of things. Like, so here's my book, it's on churches and Bibles and all kinds of stuff. So just kind of, you're kind of explore. So you just post a variety of things. You don't know what's going to attract people yet. So post a bunch of stuff, 10, 20 posts. Then go and look at Google Analytics and see which one people like.
You know what they like? I find that so strange because I talk about relationships. And one of my most popular posts is what men want. And I was so shocked because I just wrote this article because I was dating these men. I'm like, you know what? I'm single. So it is so hard to figure out what guys want. I'm like, I'm just going to ask them. Like,
Right.
you know what? Because men aren't really that complicated, to be honest. If you ask them, it works better than trying to do this female fatale thing. Like, I'm not. Do you like me or you're not? Like, that's what I want to know. Do you or don't you? So I asked guys out for coffee. I was like, I'm asking them out. Coffee is cheap. It's quick. If you don't like me, I will know quickly, and it won't waste anyone's time.
Right.
And
right.
people were interested in that. And it was so funny because I was like, I mean, we're all trying. If you're not married, you're like, oh, you might want to find someone, but do you want to do the online dating thing? You just want to get to the quick. Do you like me, or you think
right.
you might like me to pursue something, or you don't?
Right.
So I think that from what your example, I would probably do like more dating type things
Yep.
and love type things, because that's what people are really
right.
interested in. And even married people, because they live vicariously through the single people. Like, I've married friends who are like, how's the dating going? I'm like, this guy just bad. And one guy that I had a post, it was so funny, last week, 2 weeks ago, before the election, this guy did not like the way I was voting, and he told me that I should read. And I was like, read! And it was like a big thing, and we had people on the Facebook Live, and people were saying he should, because I felt like you can't respect my opinion, and I'm going to be in a relationship. And it only came out because of the election. I probably would have never asked him, but the fact that he told me to read, and he didn't think I had a valid opinion one way or the other, like, drove me like crazy.
So now you've made a post. You've made some posts on those topics. They start to, you can tell immediately, very quickly, looking at Google Analytics, what posts get some traction. So now at the bottom of that post, you can put a little line, a bio line that says, Ms. Waller, blah, 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 and you might want to check out her new book.
Mm-hmm.
You can then make a link that goes to Amazon if that's where your book is. Over on the side, you put your book. Now, you may discover you've been writing on topic X, but everybody's responding to topic Y. Why not start writing a book on topic Y? Mm-hmm. That's related to what you're like. It could be Tales from Dating. Maybe that's your book, Tales from Dating.
Stories of dating.
So but you write it publicly. It's a journal. You keep a journal basically on your blog of your dating exploits. You see which one of them resonates, and then it's a character. I was just reading about Mark Twain, who's really Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain. So at that time when he was doing all his writing, people stole their stories off the newspapers like crazy. So one of the ways he was able to track it was he created this character, Mark Twain, so he could track his writing. He could see where it's going, because everybody was stealing everything of his. So now he could identify it. So you can do the same thing. You can say, okay, here's the Tales from the Trenches. I'm out there dating, and you write posts of every date you go on. I mean, basically this, if you went on 30 dates and you wrote them down, like you said, okay, I'm going to go on. I had a friend of mine who was doing harmony.com, and he bought a month package, and he went on a date every single day just to kind of get as much. You wrote down every one of those dates over a month. You would get so much information. You'd see what resonated, go to different places, and then write that up as a series of short stories into a book.
Yeah, I mean, dating is tough. Like, the horror stories of it, and the fighting, and all the stuff that goes on. And, you're right that the only reason why I know that is because I downloaded Google Analytics, because I write a lot of publishing articles too, and I have two audience. I have some people that love all the publishing stuff, and there's some people that love all the love stuff. And like I said, I'm going to split the blog. I'm going to have it under one umbrella, but split it. So if you don't want to read anything about love, you don't have to. But some people like, reading about, like I'm doing a blog. I did a blog post on forgiveness, and that was a touchy subject, because forgiveness is really a strong component of love. And if you don't forgive, you really can't love. But it's hard to do.
That there are really only three topics that people write about: romance, health, and wealth. Mm-hmm. Everything fits into one of those topics. So you're on the romance part, and probably some of the health stuff. But yeah, so that's, so by watching that kind of stuff, you can figure out, okay, this is going good, this one's not. I know what sells, what doesn't sell. I also made myself very open so that people could track me down. So I'm just going to grab a book here. And so I published this book,
Okay.
and then I got a call. Somebody from Australia reached out to me because in all my books, and I'm not sure everybody wants to do this, but I put my contact information in the book, right? Somebody said, well, I'm left-handed. I can't use your book. These are chords for right-handed people because that's what most people are. So she said, could you make a left-handed book of chords? And I realized I could just flip them. I made a left-handed book.
Wow.
Same book. I just flipped them in InDesign and turned them into left-hand book. This sells a lot. This sells a little, but it sells all the time because there are only a lot of people made chord books. There's a million of them on Amazon. There's only a few left-handed ones. So my advice to people is not to trap yourself in a niche, but to write whatever you want. Write as much as you want because we have this unbelievable tool called Amazon that allows us to publish, and you don't know what is going to work. You really don't. You try stuff, you think you know, you do some research, you put it out, and then then you make a chord book. Or you make a sheet music book and it sells 1,000 copies a year. So I say, if you have an idea, create a book and make it and push it up and publish it. Because all our job really is make the books and market the books. Because of Amazon and print on demand, we don't have to worry about inventory or shipping or collecting money. We don't have to do any of that stuff. All the stuff that's tedious and expensive, we don't have to do. We just have to make them and market them. That's it. That's our job. Make books, market them. So whatever idea you have. Also, there's no set limit on books. So, in the time, Amazon has to be 24 pages is the minimum for a print. Kindle is about the same, just so to say it's the same. This book at the moment is a PDF book. So one of the things that I do is I experiment. You've heard me probably talk about a site called Gumroad.com.
What's it called? Gumroad?
Gumroad, yeah. It's a little e-commerce platform. In fact, I'm going to go share the screen so we can kind of show you. So it's called Gumroad.com, and so here it is. Here's my Gumroad. Ooh, I had some good sales today. Look at that, $112. And I have all kinds of products on here. So let's just look at this book. This is the book I'm doing right now, this book. And here is this product. It's a PDF product. So I haven't finished it yet. I sort of did it as a pre-release. I put it up on Gumroad. People have been buying it. But I can test concepts. I don't have to go through the whole effort of publishing. I might just try releasing some PDFs. So if you go to one of my sites, so let's just go to my my blog, this blog. So this is my main sort of blog. You'll notice over here I have some books. So this is the book I'm marketing right now. This is one of my other ones. So I can click on this, and this comes to another page on Gumroad, and you can buy this book. So this is my Publishing Secrets book. What I'm saying is that, like we just talked about the idea about, go on a bunch of dates, write them up, make a story thread through them about, tales from the street of, the tales from dating. Make a small book, that's maybe 15 pages as a PDF. It's a Word document. Put it on the side of your site like this, and just see if anybody buys it. So,
well, do you have ISBNs for all these books?
No, because, well, I do, anything that's on Amazon, I do, but all of these kind of books that I have here on the side, let me go to my other one. No, they're just PDF files. So I'm experimenting a lot. So, like here's a book I did on how to do a book launch. This is just a Word file. In fact, I have it. Where is it here? Here it is. It's right here. One of my last launch I did, I just wrote it all down as I did the launch. Right. This is just a Word file with graphics in it. I then just made a PDF and I put it on Gumroad, and occasionally somebody buys it. So you can test ideas, especially, you know, if it's fiction or something, make a mini version, put up a, like, you probably saw me do this. I put this book up to kind of test it. And I said, this is unedited. Remember, I don't know if you remember me saying that. I put it up on where's my book here? Pre-release. I said, look at this. Actually, I didn't put it. It's in here somewhere where I have it. I haven't edited this. It's in the process of editing now. But I wanted to test the book. I wanted to get it out there. Let's see if I can get some sales on it. So the cover that goes with this book just says unedited version. I didn't even get to edit it yet. I'm doing that right now, but I wanted to get it out there. So
what is, you said Gumroad, so what is it you charge, what, $10 for a book, and how much do you get to keep, and how does that work?
$10. So Gumroad is an e-commerce platform. It's like electronic bucket, and it's a place that you can put PDFs or videos and things like that, and you can sell them. And they host it, they collect the money, and they download it for the customers. So you get pretty much the whole amount. Out of a $10 book, I get, you know, $9.70 or something like that. But my point here is that just it allows me to test ideas before I actually have to go all the way through. This will become a book on Amazon, but in the meantime, I'm selling it as a PDF. So if you have a website, like, you don't have to go all the way to the end, and you don't have to have a great big book. You can sell bits and pieces of your books and see if anybody cares. That's. I know we kind of veered off on a topic here, but that's the power of what I recognized very early in the web and blog stuff, is that you are part of a global community. So, you know, you're not just sitting in wherever it is you are. All right. So I'm here in Mystic, Connecticut. My world used to be, before the web, would be here. Now my world is the world. So that's a lot of customers. That's a big reach. So the goal is to use this tool, the web, create products, create books, other things, t-shirts, hats, whatever you want, and using the print-on-demand technology, and then market them, put them up, try to use your content to get Google to see your site and bring people to your site, and then, you know, sell them stuff.
How did you said, on getting back to Amazon, how did you sell so many, like, you said that you started in 1979.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon started in 2010. I started in 2010.
How did you, when you first got on Amazon, did you sell a lot of books with your first book on Amazon, or
it's grown. You know, I mean, I've sold, here's the number right here. It's 34,605 books is how many books I have sold. It's one, I've created a lot of books. I've created 50 books. Also, once I see that something works, then I make another one. So this worked, somebody liked it, I made this. So, and then I made this. It's kind of chance that it works, but you keep making things, and then eventually something is going to hit. You look at what people are interested in. Like, I have a line of maps that are used for business presentations. So I sell them online. I've sold them for a long, long time. And they're maps. They're clip art maps that are used for PowerPoint, for businesses, governments, education, homeschool, whatever you want. You need a map. So I took those maps and I repurposed. I turned them into a coloring book. So I made 6 different coloring books. These are the maps. I own the maps already. I sell them as clip art, just like you would any clip art, but I turn them into something else. And this book also sells 1,000 copies a year. Now, this book sells 1 copy a year. I don't know why. But I made 2 US books. It's basically the same book. They're very close. This one sells, you know, I don't know, right now they're selling, you know, maybe 20, 30 a month. This one sells, you know, 1 every 6 months. I have no idea. Something not right in the cover. This cover is wrong for some reason. I don't know why. But so what I do is I just keep making more stuff. And if you get traction on something, then make a series out of it. Make a second one. Make a third one. And then I also cross-promote a lot. So one of the things I talk about is not only do I spread my content around the web, and this is something, I also spread it inside of the books. So this is something that's easy to do so that the goal is make more than one so that you can market them inside of themselves and cross-promote. But I believe I use the power of Google to take these things and spread them around and try all different things. So I have videos on them. I do, whatever I do, I try all the, everything that I can think of, which is going to be in this new book, is all in this book. I try everything I can think of, which is spreading the content, making noise about it, promoting it on Facebook, making sure I have blogs where this content is there, make sure it's labeled correctly, make sure there's good descriptions. And this is a key one, make sure there's a path to buy it at Amazon. That's one of the areas I see people fail. They might do the blog, but they don't have their books anywhere. So put them on the side, make sure there's a book page, that kind of thing. Your goal is spread your content, use Google's power to bring people to answer questions, things to your site for the information you have, and then around it, wrap your ads for your books that's very clear with links to Amazon so they can buy. That's sort of, I think I did where's my little picture here?
What about, can you talk to me a little bit about keywords? Because they said, I was talking to another writer and he sold like over $300,000 in sales. And he said that when he first started out, he didn't have the correct keywords, and somehow he was found, and he figured out that the keywords that he was using were not fitting the book. How does an author find out? Like, I write Christian fiction. How do I find out keywords? All right,
so let's go look that up right now. We'll go do that. So what kind of fiction?
Christian fiction.
Christian fiction. Okay. Oh, let's go to Amazon. So there's a couple of places to look. So let's start at Google first. So I'm going to just put here, I'm going to put Christian fiction books. So let's just say I'm interested in Christian fiction. And so right away, right here, this is the drop-down stuff. You can see I typed Christian fiction books. Look what shows up. Christian books for teens, teen girls, 10 to 12, teen guys, fourth graders. Does that give you some information about your market?
These are like Christian romance books, maybe not just fiction, because that's
could be. But if I'm searching under a general topic, so one of the things that I try to tell people is you have to believe what Google is giving you. You have to believe it. You can't fight it. You have to believe it. So right here, Christian fiction books, we can see all of these things. So maybe you're writing adult books, but maybe you should be writing teen books. So right away, there's information. So let's just go to the general one. But right away, this is a great way. And this happens on Google, Amazon, and YouTube. And you should look at all of these. But this is a great way to start. So we can see, we'll just go to the general one. But, pay attention to this, because this is where the market seems to be, right? It's very attractive in all these areas. Maybe you can just retool your book to make it for a teen. So let's go look at this, Christian fiction. So here are Christian fiction books. So these are your main books. And, there's lots of stuff listed here. If we come down to the bottom, here are more. These are more keyword phrases. This is what Google is doing is it's trying to figure out what you want. And it's crowdsourcing everybody else in the world who has been searching on Christian fiction books, and taking all that information and mashing it together and coming up with some phrases. So right here, we have a bunch of phrases. These are good keyword phrases. These phrases should be mixed into your description. They should be used on your Amazon keywords, all those places. All right? They're telling you, Google is telling you how to look for this stuff. And here it is. You also have generally, you'll hit these questions. People also ask. Pay attention. Like if you're writing your blog, see these questions right here? Mm-hmm. These are the questions that people ask. Google has put these questions together. These are the common questions. These are blog post titles. Who are the best Christian fiction writers? They just use this phrase right here. Just take this phrase and write a blog post on it. Do one on this phrase. Do one on this. If I open this up, it'll give me some information. I should mention these authors. So this is just using the power of Google, who's telling you what people want. Mm-hmm. And you can just, right? So now I know, in your description, you might say, hey, my book is very close to Michelle Stimpson's book, but it's a little different. Now, that's a phrase people are looking on. They can use that. So that's a little bit how to use Google. One, here are the books it pops up. Here's the places that it goes, the questions that people ask, and the phrases. So let's go over to Amazon, do the same thing. So I'm going to click this on books, and we'll do Christian fiction books. So again, now look at what shows up. Remember we got sort of teen stuff on Google? It's a different search engine. Mm-hmm. Look what shows up here. So now we're a little more adult market. So again, we have these are the markets for teen girls, for women bestseller. Way down here is men. So again, we have the phrases. These can be worked into your description. I write Christian fiction books for women. That's a phrase that Amazon has given you right here. You just mix that into your description. So let's just we'll go look at the one for women right here. And tell me, is there one here that I should look at? You might know these books. Mm. Well, just pick one. Let's go to this one.
If I were you.
This one. Okay, so let's just go to this book. This one also has 694 reviews. That's pretty good. So I talk about this. So let me just back up for a second. Do you see what I'm doing with my book? Mm-hmm. I'm using my book as a prop in this interview. I keep bringing the book up. Mm-hmm. I keep going, hey, I did that in this book here. So I'm constantly, basically, I'm selling this book in this interview over and over and over again. So that's something to think about. Having a book, even one that you just went to Staples, which is where I did this one, printed it out and put a binding on it, becomes a very useful thing to help market. So let's look at this. So here's the book, and look what's right down here below it. So people buy this book. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. See what they bought here? Frequently bought together. Amazon has bundled together these 3 books. So people that buy this kind of book, they also buy these books. These are options for you to write about. Mm-hmm. So this is information you can write on. Other books you might like, related books. So Amazon says, oh, you like that book? How about these books? This is your market research for your books. So you can go and look at them. So you can go into the description and look for keywords here. You're not stealing it or copying it. You're being inspired by it. Mm-hmm. If I come down here, this is a pretty good book. I look at my seller ranks. It's number 4.
Anything less than 100, I heard, is really good, right?
Yeah. 100's the top best. You want to look at this number, 5,000. So there's, 8 million books on Amazon. This book, anything below 100,000 on the bestseller rank, this is the overall rank. This is really good. This is at 6. This is 5,900. This is pretty good. These are categories. So you can see these are the categories you can write on. These are also keyword phrases that can be mixed in. Now, if I come down here to the reviews, so here are the reviews, and this is gold. This is absolute gold down here. Amazon has now added in a new thing. See these words right here? Mm-hmm. These reviews use these words. So people write reviews for this book. Mm-hmm. They come back over and over and use these words. So not all of these would work, but historical fiction might work. Sully Made might work, something like that. But if I look down through these reviews and I look at the 4-star reviews and the 2-star reviews. So a 4-star review says, the book is really good, but there's one thing wrong. You can go into here and figure out what that one thing wrong is and not do it. Don't do it in your book. So this is telling you, I like this book a lot, but there's just something wrong. So I don't know, in here you'll find those words. If there's a 2-star review, this one, let's go to a couple 2-star reviews. This woman's got a lot of 5-star. You look at the 2-star reviews, this book, I didn't like this book, but here's one redeeming thing I did like about it. So look at this. I usually love her books, but the whole premise of the story is hard to swallow. But I enjoyed the background stories. So something to file away for your book. Ooh, background stories. This woman liked background stories. Let's look at another one. I love this writer. I've read almost all her books. I struggled to get through it. It's a book talking about mixed girls. Sorry, but I can't read it. And like I said, I've read most of her books. Sorry, everybody else. It's not a bad story. So you can see that she love all the twists. She had 2-star review, love all the twists. Can't wait for the next one. So you can look at the 4-star reviews and the 2-star reviews, and you can find keywords, key phrases, key ideas, all that kind of stuff is sitting in the reviews. So by going through these reviews, by looking at these words, by looking at the search results, you can see what phrases and things start to show up that get you to these books. Let's go to YouTube, because YouTube also does the same thing. So Christian fiction books. Look at this list. We've done the same search phrase now in 3 different search engines.
Well, I like the Christian books by Black authors. Do the 3rd one.
By Black authors. That didn't show up on any of the other ones, did it?
No, but I want to see that number 3. That looks interesting.
All right, let's go to that and just look at the other ones. See, they have some of the same name. When you start to see trends, and you go, oh, look at this, 9 to 12. So let's go look at the Black authors. So you can put any one of these videos. Remember I said you can build a world around your books. So maybe you're going to focus on Christian Black authors, or you're going to, you're a Black author, you're going to write about that. So you can go and grab any of these videos and put them onto your website. Anybody, you can just go to the thing, like here, top favorite 20 Black authors of 2018. So let's just go to this video. I'm just going to pause that. If I go to the share button, I'm going to look at, oops, no thanks. I'm going to look at the description. Maybe she listed the authors. Maybe I want to go check out those authors. But also right here, I have the share button. And see that link? You can put that on your website. And
that would be another way to draw in, like to write about that and have discussion. And I did the same thing with my movies. And another thing that's very popular on my blog is I did Christian movies, and people like that too. Like what was, because you like it, it has a certain slant to it, and it can't hurt. It's like content, because the more content you have, like you're right, then you can also brand it. Like what I'm hearing, like you said about the ad, I could put an ad at the bottom of every article. Every
article. And I teach this, and I try to do it. It's hard to do it, everyone. But yes, every post you do is a little advertisement. And put your stuff at the bottom. And you can try different things. You can test different books. Don't have to be just the one book you have. That's why I said the thing about Gumroad is pull together a quick, tales from dating, and pull together a quick book. Maybe it's Christian tales from dating Christian, whatever, Just, I would write it all down. I'd make posts on it. I'd watch and see what happens. I would take those posts. I would compile them into a book, a small book, and sell it or give it away. Just see, does anybody care? But some of these are pretty decent. Look at this woman has 27,000 views on hers. Pick the big ones, 30,000 views. This is, maybe I'm not going to put the 835 views, but here's 1.6 million. I mean, top 5 Christian books. Look at that, 36,000, 225,000. You can put a video in every post you do. You know, you can go through and find research. So the point I'm saying here is I take my content. How did I get so many sales? One, I've been selling for 10 years. I've made a lot of books. I'll say, want more money, make more books. That's kind of it. Because you just don't know. And even the big companies, the main publishing houses, like let's just say Scholastic. Scholastic published Harry Potter. Harry Potter saved Scholastic.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They saved it. Harry Potter books, it's a chart. It looks like this. It looks like this. Every publishing company looks like this. There's 2 books at the top, and then every other book is down here somewhere. I have 50 books. Here's how it breaks down. I have 2 books up here that sell 1,000 each. I have a whole bunch of books that sell 30, 40 a month. They're in there. I have some that sell 1 a month. They're there. And I have some that sell 1 a year. If I only made 1 book, I might be over here. I might never have gotten to here. So you need to kind of try some different stuff and experiment and push out more. And, because we are able to use print on demand, because we're able to use Amazon, because we can publish whatever we want to, you can do it. And I will say to people, don't publish. How many pages is your book? The book you've written?
It's 200 and something pages. 200.
All right. So if that book was broken in half, and each book was 125 pages, and at the back of the first book you put a big, Perils of Pauline hanging cliff thing, they have to go buy the second book. Then you take those 2 books and you put them together into a box set as a compilation book. So now you went from 1 book to 3 books. So there's a wonderful book. I'm going to just find him on Amazon here while we're doing it, because this book tells you how to do this. What's his name?
I'm thinking about I have another book I'm writing. It's called How Marguerite Becomes Rita. And it takes place in Chicago. And it's a book of, it's almost like a Cinderella story. And my writing group likes it a lot. And I'm thinking, I want to do 2 of these books. So you're right. You do 1 half, stop it, do the other half, and then say, like you said, that's a box set. You want them together, you get them together. You want to read 1.
So you sell 1 book for $9.99. You sell the next book for $9.99, and you sell the box set for $15.99 or $19.99 or whatever. Right, you write them in series, and Amazon loves series, and you market. You put the first chapter of the second book at the end of the first book. Get them hooked, and then, So, and by using your website, your blog, things like that, you're starting to do some research. You're testing ideas. You're writing a new book. Start writing. Take the text from the new book, start posting it, and see if does anybody kind of drift over. And and you can give them, you could build your platform, which is, give away a PDF of that book, which is what I'm doing. I'm giving away, I'm selling a PDF of this book, and you're building a mailing list, or you're getting people encouraged on an early version of the book. You just go, you don't worry about it being perfect. You say, this book isn't done yet. I'm still processing it, but if you want to read it, here you go. And if you find people start to download it, which is why a site like Gumroad is so valuable to me, because you can throw something up there and test it, and you can give it away for free. You can give it away for $2. You can do whatever you want. You can sort of, nobody seems, you start posting pieces from the book. You go look at your Google Analytics after a month, and you go, no one's going to this book. Okay, I guess I'll move on to the next book. Or, boy, they really like that 3rd chapter I put up. Maybe I need to retweak my 1st and 2nd chapters. I got something that's going here. And at the bottom, you sell your previous books because you maybe not have anything, or you sell a mini version of the book you have. But that's the power that I really love about what the web offers you, what Google Analytics offers you, about the ability to spread stuff around. I put stuff everywhere. I have a Pinterest account. I put it on LinkedIn, and I put it on. I just put it into Google. I put it everywhere. I make it very easy to spread stuff around because I just don't know. Like, here's my little chart. This is part of this book. I'm going to show you this chart. So I do something like this. Here's the basic concept. Mm-hmm. So I post stuff here and I spread it all around to these places, and then the traffic comes back, and then I send them over to Amazon to buy.
Okay.
So that's the basically sort of a wagon wheel approach to push stuff out and try to drive it back and post it all over those places.
Well, you could do different segments of it, because you could take even like one of the things that one of my characters, she's into like natural hair. You could do a whole segment on hair and how she kind of demands that. I mean, that could be an aspect of, because dating is also about appearance. Like, I did a blog post and the guy was like, do not think that they're gonna love you any way you are. You better be looking good. Don't come with your clothes looking crazy and you didn't shave and you didn't have your teeth clean, because nobody gonna be walking up on you like that. And I wrote this post and people were like reading it, and he said, if you want to get the man or woman of your dreams, you have to look the part. You don't want to scare them before you even talk to them. And that's true. Like, you ever go with someone, you're like, what is that?
Right. In fact, there's that commercial. It's for fabric softener or something, right? And it's a blind date. They meet the first time, and the girl's looking really nice, but the guy's shirt is all hanging down.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
It looks horrible. That's exactly what you're saying.
It's important, and people don't. They see, like, we look with our eyes. Most of us can see. So if you're like, when I went out with these guys, I would made a choice. I had my nails done. I made sure I had a cute outfit on. I did my hair. Like, I did this stuff because I didn't want to scare them before I even sat down. I mean, we might have had a conversation and then go well. I've had people I'm like, no, I am not going to see you again. No, that man talking crazy. What he said? Oh no, he did not. I'm gonna get to run, girl, run.
So you
told me I look cute.
Yeah. So you have a wealth of things you could write about in that. You don't have to write about all of them, but you may find that you write on X and you sell them Y. Mm-hmm. You can, you have to figure out what's the thing that starts to pull. Well, Google Analytics will tell you what posts work. Mm-hmm. And so you just go, they all like that topic. Mm-hmm. And then you just place your stuff around it. It's.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a thing on women. And I think I'm going to try to get a couple of my male friends to tell me what they want in relationships, because I think women really find men confusing. I don't think they're confusing, because I think men are simplistic. They kind of say what they want, but we don't really hear them. Women talk a ton. Men don't talk as much. When they say things, they generally mean it, and women don't pay attention to that. And they're hard to understand. I don't really think they are. I just don't think we listen and realize that's a man speaking and not a woman.
Right.
Women talk a lot. Men aren't so chatty. And, so when they talk, you really have to listen because it means something. They just aren't. So I think you're right. I think, a lot of times you have to see what you're passionate about writing. And some of the blog posts I did, nobody liked, but you know what? It didn't cost me anything. Maybe it was time, but I learned, you're not going to come out of the gate. And this is what I'm hearing from you. You wrote all these books. The first book didn't sell that much, maybe. Yeah. You have to learn what sold. Yeah. And then you said, okay, this worked. Let's do this. It's not, and you had a lot of books. So you have a catalog. It's not one book that made you all that money. You have a catalog.
Right. I have a catalog, and I write in. So my right between. I have coloring books, I have children's books, I have music books, I have business books, I have self-publishing books, I have some other ones. So I write in some really different topics. I make books in anything that interests me. I make a book about it. So. I mean, that's counter to what a lot of people will say, is that, you need to be defined and become an expert in that niche. What I've learned is people who are interested in, let's say, maps, they don't really care that I'm also interested in music. They don't really care. They just want the map stuff. And so it doesn't hurt me to have music books, because they're not going, oh, this guy likes music too. I don't want his books then.
They don't care. They're not. People don't think like that. They get what
like
they
that.
want from you, and that's it. And that's a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend, and in my writing group, and we were talking about this. I've been in this writing group 5 years, and there are some people who have never published anything in 5 years because it has to be perfect. It has to be this, and it's like, you know what? The first book, there were mistakes. The second book is better because even the people said we can see you got better. But I said, you know what? If you wait for perfection, you'll never do it. You'll be like, oh. You think the first song that these famous singers, the first time they went on stage, they weren't perfect. They got better.
Even Ed Sheeran said he had to get his, the thing about the 10,000 hours, you need to put 10,000 hours into something to be an expert. Mm-hmm. He said, I needed 10,000 hours to get all the crappy songs out of my head before I could get to the good ones. And yeah, I usually say it's perfection freezes progress. I think, what I've learned from teaching people and doing things in books is that, one of the hardest things to do is to push the publish button. It's so hard. You're seeing that in your writing group but what my point is about pushing the publish button is that the clarity comes on the other side of pushing that button. Mm-hmm. As soon as you push that button, whatever it is, a blog post, a book, you know, oh, that's how I should have written it. Mm-hmm. Now, the advantage of the web and blogs and the kind of way we publish books is you can go back and fix it. It's not, none of these things are frozen. We always think of books. Books used to be a permanent thing. Mm-hmm. They're not permanent anymore. If you need to fix it, you can just go fix it and load up another file. So, the books can be transformative. People get transformed through the process of doing it. But hitting that publish button gives you clarity on the other side that you go, oh, that's what I should do. But you got to keep pushing the publish button. It doesn't work.
Keep trying. You've got to keep putting yourself out there and try different things. And I think that's one of the biggest. And you got to have a plan. I'm always trying to market. Like your blog is your marketing. So before I get the book out, I'm on your blog, like your page, all these pages. And then maybe I'll put something about my book on the page, but I've already put so many other posts. Like if I put one, like, oh, I got a book out, check me out. It's not like, oh, she's just pushing her book because she's written 20 or 30 or so posts. And then now she's something going on. People wait too late. Like, well, I'll wait till the book gets out. And I'm like, if you wait till the book gets out, it's almost too late.
It's that you can't surprise people. You can't, it's the same, people use the dating analogy a lot around this, which is you can't just walk up down the street and ask somebody to marry you. You have to kind of do on that first date. Some work, some don't. And the second date, and the third date. It's the same thing with marketing. You start putting your content out there, letting people know you have it, letting you know that something is coming, basically making noise about your book, talking about the journey, how much fun you're having doing it, how hard it is, whatever it is, getting people ready for it so that they're coming. So, okay, next September, I have my book is coming, and I just did the layout, and it's really cool, and I got the cover, working with a cover designer, it's really cool. You're taking people along that journey with you. So by the time you get to the point of releasing it, people go, oh, this is.
They already kind of buy in, and
they're already bought in, and
they want to help you. And people they feel like they're part of. Like I had a launch party, and it was crazy because of with COVID. So everybody, I had food. Everything was contained, and you had to wave. So I threw a soda at you, a cookie at you. You waved. You said, "Hi, Kim, how wonderful you are," and they left. And nobody. And then I was dancing. Everybody was masked up. It was like crazy. I've never had a party like this, but it's COVID, and we couldn't have like the traditional party. And we did a drive-by. People came at different times. I was there from 2 to 4, and you could come and see me. And I had desserts because it's a party. I had little soda. I even had Puerto Rican type food. Like I had the slushies. I had the rice and beans. I had empanadas because my story takes place in Puerto Rico.
Right. Yeah.
Like, good things take place in Puerto Rico. Right. So, and people got a taste of it, and they really enjoyed it. But it wasn't a traditional party because you can't have. Right. And I had 25 people come, and I had like 4 press releases.
Right. Right.
This is what I mean about trying to.
You got to try different things. Now, one of the things that's been very successful for me, I don't know whether you have this or not, is to build an open group on Facebook.
I haven't done that.
So my group has almost 5,000 people in it. The group where the How to Publish Your Book Facebook group. So that has been a very, powerful tool for me. So basically, all you do is there are 3 kinds of groups on Facebook. There's open groups, closed groups, and secret groups. So you want an open group, which means anybody can come along, and they have to then ask to join, but they can see what's in the group. And you make it on something that's a general topic general name around your topic. So Christian fiction is general enough. I have how to publish a book. I can pretty much put anything I want in that group. In the first couple of years that I had it, I used videos, I used blog posts from other blogs, anywhere I could get information. I didn't write all the stuff, but I was the curator. So here's anything you kind of go, oh, that's a cool idea around my topic, which is publishing. Go, oh, post that in. Here's a good thing. Post that. You should read this. Post that. So you're kind of priming the pump. You're getting content in there. And then when people come in, this was a key thing that I did. I thanked everybody who came in. The first 2,000 people, I personally thanked all of them. You know, thank you for coming. You know, 2,000 people, thank you for coming. And then, you know, first you put your friends in so you have a few people in. And then people will start to drift in because they'll search on Facebook for things. And I would think Christian fiction would be an enormous topic. There's probably other Christian fiction groups. Go look, go to the groups, search, see what it is, and then maybe take your spin on it. And then what happens? And then you answer every question. People talk about stuff. You make comments. If somebody's doing something you don't like you can market your product, but I want you to contribute. Like if you're just going to sell, and you don't listen to that, I boot you out. If you're going to come in, I just took somebody out today who was talking, and it was a topic that had nothing to do with the group. I just removed them. I don't care. You know, I try to keep it focused, and members appreciate that you manage your group. You know, if there's suddenly things coming from all kinds of weird places, you know, people get upset because your members, especially the ones that post and are there, they kind of take ownership of the group too. They want to be in this group because it's a safe space. So now you build your group. Here's another place you can talk. So every time you do a blog post, you go to the group and go, hey, I just did a new blog post on, you know, dating number 33, you know, boom. You know, or here's a little mini book I just made. Go check it out, you know. So your goal is to try to move them from the Facebook group to your blog and to your products. It's your group. Like I'm selling, you know, I mean, you're seeing me. I'm hustling this book in my group. Well, it's my group. I'm trying to do it nicely. I'm not going buy, but you can see me. I'm hustling the book. I'm showing the book and doing what we're talking about. And then you let people put their stuff in, and maybe it's an authors group, and you be supportive of the authors. You go, hey, new book, post it up. Make sure there's a link to Amazon. Fantastic. That's what you do. You engage in the group. You kind of you engage. You don't just sort of put it up and walk away. You have to engage. But it will grow. If you do that, it will grow. I would imagine a Christian fiction. Let's just go look. Let's go look. That's the best thing to do is go look. So let's just go.
I have a dating group, but I haven't put anything in it. Maybe I should be in.
Yeah, you could. Maybe you can just. Is it an open group or a closed group?
It's open.
It's open. All right. So I'm just going to go to Facebook. I'm just going to search on. Well, dating is going to be a million groups on that. So
dating.
Christian dating. Okay, Christian dating and relationships. Yep. So let's put this down. So here are groups. So here's a Christian dating relationship that has 5,000 people. Here's one born again singles looking for marriage, 15,000 people. This one is 402. Forget that one. Let's go look at this one. So this is a private group. I would make them open because you'll get more people. This is an open group. Here's one. All right. So you just go see what they post about. Like join a couple of these groups and start to see what they do, and then make your own group. But this group has 5,300 members. That's a good base to start selling books out of. I don't know what's in here. But this looks like a decent group. This is like what should be in here, right? This is regular, normal kind of group. This is a well-run group, I would say. And it's probably this guy is the guy that runs it right here because he seems to be here the most. So he's back here's a lot. So you want to encourage people to participate. You want to get dialogues, but you want the community. You're building a community of people, and then you can start to slide your stuff in.
Yeah, I think that's good. So I think you've given us a wealth of tips. Are there any maybe another one or two tips you could give, like new writers who really want to market?
I would one, be public with your stuff and get it out there. That's probably big. So, and whether you post you should have some kind of author home that can be I like blogs because you can manage it yourself and you can put up extra pages with stuff. So a website is usually more static. The blog, it's continually changing, and Google likes change. So spread your content around, break it up into little pieces, push it out to the world, and make sure there are calls to action at the bottom. It could be just a cell line, blah, 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 author, check out her latest book. It's on Amazon. Make sure there are links to Amazon to buy, because that's what you're really doing. You're trying to sell books. Watch your Google Analytics, that you do it, I do it. That's a big key. Even a simple, like I use Google Blogger also. And let me just go to this is my Google Blogger. This is, I'm in the process of sort of changing from one to the other, but so this is Google Blogger's account. I'm just going to go inside my Google Blogger account. So, and it has a stats. Everybody has stats. Look at the stats. And I'm just going to look at this over. I like 30 days. Let's look at 30 days. And here's the most popular post of the last 30 days.
I have Google Analytics. How do you get Google Blogger?
So Blogger, if you have a Google account, Google has a blogging platform called Blogger.
Okay.
It's a free blogging account. I think it's a great place to be because you don't have to worry about a WordPress or a cost or really anything. It's free. Mm-hmm. So you can have as many as you want. They're easy to get rid of. And they give you enough. Like they give you a blogging platform. They give you 10 pages. So you can have an about page. You can have a book page. You can have a resource page, that kind of thing. But they have a simplified version of stats. And here I'm going to give you this. Let's do this tip because this is one of my inside tips. Notice on the pages, what's the number one page on this blog? This is a blog about publishing. What's the number one page? Resources. Resources. Right. So let's go back. Every blog should have a resource page. It's just a page, and you can just build it as you go. You see anything that partly this page is so that I can find things that I think are valuable. I just post them in here with a link. Mm-hmm. So I have some writing information, editing information, finding design. This is the most popular page on this site. Mm-hmm. Google sends people to my site to read what's on this page. So around your topic, mm-hmm. add a resource page to your blog, mm-hmm. and just put in anything that you think is important. And don't worry about that you only have 3 at the moment. Build it. You'll have this after a while. This has been
ads on the side. I love that.
And you put ads on the side. So this is publishing resources. So I have some writing resources, some editing resources. Mostly it's to remind me when somebody says, what's that place you did the thing with where do you get your photos? And I go, oh, what's the address? Oh, it's like I'm down to the photo area and here are all my stock photo places. But it becomes a resource for other people. And Google sends people here, and whatever website I have a resource page on it. They're often the most trafficked pages. Mm. They're super easy to do. Anything you go, I'm using these highlighters. Where do I get them? I'll put the address. I get them on Staples. I'm going to put a link about highlighters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you put in here. Just make it around your topic. It could be lists of your favorite books. It could be your videos. Like I put some videos in here. It doesn't matter. It just build it out because Google loves this stuff. And it's just there as something to attract people to my site. That's it. And then around the edge, what do? I put ads for my books.
Okay. I think you've given us some wealth of information. I thank you so much for spending some time with me and also being so patient because the start was a little crazy. But I'm here with Jay Brewstone and his book,
My
How I
book,
Sold
How I Made
$322,000
$322,650 selling books
on
on
Amazon.
Amazon.
And you
Yep.
can also get my book, the new one, Good Things Comes, is also on Amazon. Christian fiction. All right.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to.
All right. Hit your stop your record.